What is good, rookies? Just a quick one for you. We've had some really unfortunate news that Jagga Smith has ruptured his ACL during that knock that he copped in the practice match against St Kilda. We were kind of all keeping our fingers crossed because he limped off and he looked okay. He just didn't play that fourth quarter, but it's come back today that he's done his ACL, which puts him out for the entire 2025 season. Really unfortunate news. You got to feel for the kid. Third draft pick. He was looking immaculate. He was looking like he was going to have a really good first season at Carlton, and just to have this unfortunate injury happen right before the season starts, it'd be, diminishing and demotivating, and you'd be all in your feels. So thoughts out to Smith. Hopefully it's a speed of recovery. How does that look from a Supercoach perspective? Well, he was like one of our almost guaranteed locks as a rookie, and we've now just lost that. On top of the preseason carnage that we've already experienced, which you would have seen in the last video, this is a big blow to kind of our structures, to what our rookie opportunities are. And I kind of want to go through some replacements. So I know people are going to be looking at, okay, well, how do we replace someone like Smith? Jagga was looking really, really good from a rookie perspective. We are short on rookies. I would say overall, maybe more importantly in the defense line, but because we had people like Jagga in the midfield that we were so confident on. Before we go into replacements, I do want to say a massive thank you for all the love on the last video. You guys have absolutely smashed it out of the park with comments and likes, and you guys have smashed that 100 subscriber mark. So thank you all so much for that. I really appreciate it. Let's jump into replacements. So Smith is out. If we go for a direct swap, who have we got? So around that 190 mark, let's just have a look. So we're just going to go close to here. Let's just go 184 to about, let's bring that really, let's just go around here. Who can we replace him with? Now, the first one we've got is Ashcroft. We've got Draper, Sardis, Laylaw's out, so I want to go him. We've got Sullivan, O'Driscoll, Allen, and we're not really sure about these guys. So let's just drop this back a little bit more. Maybe it's like the 150. We're going to go through these guys first. Now, for a direct swap at the moment, I'm leaning towards O'Driscoll just because of the reports coming out of the practice match was that he joined the A team, was playing around, getting some midfield time, kicked a goal as well. He's hanging out with the big boys, Sarong, Brayshaw. He's getting time with them. Now, again, we are paying up for a bit of a wing role, which doesn't historically go well with Supercoach. But if he shows anything of what we saw in the All-Stars match, Indigenous All-Stars match, I think he's probably the best direct placement. Outside of that, I think we kind of have to look for other alternatives if we can't get O'Driscoll in. So who do we have available? Toby, I'm not entirely sure of. Again, pretty doubtful that he's playing round one. We've got Ashcroft. Again, the previous concerns was that Brisbane has a really strong midfield, a lot tougher to crack into the side, probably a sub-vest risk because they're going to ease him into the game. Some people have a lot more faith behind Ashcroft. By all means, I think look into him a little bit more. I think he's an okay candidate to switch to. Draper, I think, has the same issue. I think the midfield at Adelaide is just got too many rotating figures. He might get some CBA time, don't get me wrong, and might be able to put up some decent scores at different times. But I think, again, the sub-risk, considering the Adelaide midfield, is quite likely. So I'm probably leaning against it. I'm going to assume that most people already have Sardis in their team, so I'm not really going to talk about him. O'Sullivan, I think he might be okay. I haven't personally looked too much into it just because I think, again, we look at Parker, we look at Phillips, we look at Powell, we look at LDU, we look at Sheasel. There's a lot of people that are moving in. I haven't looked too much into O'Sullivan just because it hasn't piqued my interest, but definitely worth looking at him. Allen did look okay, but it just hasn't been in the rotating best 22 at practice matches, or if he has, it's been very short time. I'm not entirely too sure. So who else have we got here? So Langford, I actually would consider. If you're looking to drop down to Langford from Smith, I think that's probably a really safe option. I think Langford is going to do quite well. He's a lock in my rookie side, so I have now O'Driscoll and Langford. So I think that's a really good replacement. Angus could be that replacement, just depending on the role. Again, I think Angus is currently a bit of a sub risk as well. I mean, all our rookies are sub risk, but like, who's going to be more likely to be subbed? And ideally, when we really look at this, if they have a much stronger midfield, then the likelihood of them getting a sub vest probably more likely, from what I've been able to interpret at least. But I think Sheldrick could be a good option potentially. Lombard's out with injury. Lindsay looked okay too. I would dare say pay up for Langford. Don't look at Lindsay. Who else have we got? We've really got no one else. So they're like, if we're looking around that, 150 to 200 mark, that's where we're currently looking for like a lock-in rookie. Is there anyone else that we can look at? Is there someone potentially higher? Maybe can you pay up for someone? I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think at the moment, when it comes to these rookies, well, actually, there is one which I will highlight, and that is Hugo. If you have enough cash to spare and you move things around, and you don't currently have Garcia in your team, which I think after yesterday's performance, I'd be quite shocked, go get it, Garcia. Outside of that, I'm really not too sure. Garcia, Marek, I wouldn't put in that discussion. We've seen nothing of him. I don't think anything's happening. So if we're looking around that mark where you have maybe 50k either side, probably O'Driscoll, definitely Garcia if you can get him in. Otherwise, I probably dare say your best bet is probably Ashcroft or Langford. So that's my thoughts on who the replacement could be. What are you guys doing? What are your plans? Have you got a different replacement that you're looking at? Have you had to restructure a few things to make it work? Again, really unfortunate news, but very curious to see how you guys are adapting to all of this preseason carnage. Again, thank you so much for the support, guys. Absolutely appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.